welcome back to the Spoony Stitcher channel. I'm Shannon the Spoony Stitcher, you're inside the Stitchery, and we are continuing our crochet along for quick, easy Christmas gifts. If you've missed any of the previous videos, don't worry, they're all in a playlist linked down below. Yeah, I got you, we're good. These are all things that take between 20 and 2 hours. Somewhere in there, the longest one takes 2 hours max. Today we are making a glasses case. Now, the glasses case comes from a video that I made earlier this year during my October Opals Spirit Week that I did with Teresa from CROCHET Crochet and Ashley at Gwinspired and anybody else who wanted to join in, and lots of you did, and that was so exciting. But we are making a glasses case that I made mine inspired by Into the Woods. So we have the cape as red as blood, the cow as white as milk, the hair as yellow as corn, and slippers as pure as gold. So that's what mine is. Now, this thing looks funny. I understand. You know, it just goes off to the side and it's diagonal and it looks kind of funny and you're wondering, how on earth is this useful? Because there are no toggles, no buttons, no snaps, and I still promise you it won't fall out. Simply put the glasses inside, wrap it around the bottom, it's not going anywhere. You can throw this in your bag, your purse, your pocket, whatever. Now remember, it is still protected to a point, but please remember that, I hope I'm facing the camera, please remember that they are just fabric and, you know, this is not a hard case, so be as gentle as you can, but they are more protected than just those sleeves that have no way to close. So, and you just pull the string right up. That's it. There are two versions of this case, and we are going to make one version today and one version tomorrow. Today's version is the diagonal case, and this is the one that I make in the tutorial. I made this one longer because it was for a specific pair of glasses. But today's is the diagonal case. That's the one you just saw. Tomorrow is the snake case. The snake case goes down the middle and is even. This one goes off to the side. So for those of you who don't like the off to the side look and it bothers you, I totally understand. That's why I made the snake case. So grab your hooks and let's make a glasses case. Or if you want to make tomorrow's, still watch this one. Most of the ideas are the same. You can make it in stripe formation, like I did here, or you can make it in variegated yarn. If you make it in these stripes, I highly recommend that when you're going around and around, instead of working in continuous rounds, you stop, slip stitch, chain one, and then continue the color. It just makes these stripes look nicer. But if you want to use a variegated yarn and make your life a lot easier, then you can just work in continuous rounds and it doesn't matter. So you need a 5mm hook, a worsted weight yarn of some kind, a stitch marker, a needle, and scissors, and that's it. That's all you need to get started. You can also use a 4.5mm hook if you don't have a 5. So today is the diagonal case, and if you want to make one of these for a Christmas gift, hopefully this tutorial will be out in time. Okay, let's make a glasses case. First, we are going to make a slip knot. And chain 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are going to skip the first chain, and into the second we are going to make 2 single crochet or an increase. 1, 2. I'm going to mark the first stitch. We are going to work around our chain. So what's going to happen is we're going to work on this side, and then we will do something that will help us turn to get to this side. So we're working in an oval. If you've never done that before, it's really not hard. So all you have to do is just go in these top stitches here and not these bottom stitches. So usually when you make a chain and you go back and forth, it doesn't matter how many loops or where you go in the chain. But for this particular pattern, it does matter. So just make sure you're going in these single loops so that you have these loops ready for the other side. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet in 8 of the chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You should have 1 chain left hanging off the end here with the starting yarn. Into this stitch, we're going to make 3 single crochet or an increase 3 because we want to get around the corner. 2 won't be quite enough, so we need 3. So 1, and it's okay to work over your tail if you wish. I'm not going to, but you can. 2, same stitch, 3. Okay, now we are working on the other side of the chain, and you're gonna love this part because the stitches go in these holes. See these holes? That's where we're going into. So we're gonna make 8 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, you're back where you started, but there's still, technically this is not a stitch, this is like a false loop, but we're gonna use it because we're gonna go and make 1 single crochet in it. So it's kind of like there's 3 stitches like there is over here, but it's fake. We're going to slip stitch to the top of our single crochet here, the first one we made, and chain 1. Before we go any further, I am going to do something to kind of fix this middle. This is why I don't work over my chain, but you absolutely can. I might not have made it long enough, but that's okay. So I'm going to get my needle, and I'm going to kind of weave this in and out. This is completely optional, by the way. You don't have to do this. But if you are going to do this, this is a good time to do it. See, we're just going in and out. Then I'm going to grab a stitch here so that I can turn and it locks in like that. Then I just kind of find a way to hide my tail and keep this in place. It's not that big a deal. It's not like, you know, you're making a garment where things are going to be washed. Yeah, please never wash your glasses case. If something happens to it, try to spot clean it. And if it's not salvageable at all, well, make another one. They're not hard to make. See, now there's just like a bit of a barrier. Not that anything would fall through, but we just want to make it a little better. So, on to round 2. This part is a little bit tricky, and that's why I do absolutely recommend if you have a crochet hook with a pointier head. If you can see, mine is super pointy. This is an Ophire. I love Ophire, specifically for this reason, the super pointy head. Prims also have super pointy heads, and clovers have fairly pointy heads, but you can make these in any hook you want. I'm just recommending the pointier hook because I think it makes this particular step a lot easier. So here is the front loop and the back loop. But if you turn your piece, there is this extra loop. We call it the third loop. See? Every one of them has it. We are going to stick our hook through the back loop and the third loop. Now, you do not have to do it this way, okay? Especially if you are a super beginner, you do not have to do it this way. If you don't have a pointy hook, you may not want to do it this way. The reason I like working through the third loop is because when you go through the back loop only and just the back loop only, this is what it looks like. There are holes. Not very big ones, but they're there. And I don't like that. Meanwhile, if you did it through the third loop as well as the back loop, this is how it looks. No holes, and the color is super tight. You cannot see anything except the two colors here. I like that. And for something like glasses, you'd want them to be more secure. It's cleaner, and I think that it's a little bit sturdier because there's more loops that you're going through, and so it's a bit stronger. Now, you don't have to do this. It's completely optional, but I thought I'd show you why I like to do it. So it's up to you. We are going to single crochet in the back loop only and the third loop. The first one can be a little tricky because your chain 1 is right there. Please mark this stitch. And we're going to do that all the way around. Just go all the way around through the back loop. That will be 22 stitches. In case you are trying to do the third loop, here's my back loop, here's my third loop. There I go. Okay, I will meet you right before the end of this round. Okay. When you're done, slip stitch to the marked stitch. And you can go in both loops now. And chain 1. Make a single crochet in that stitch and mark it. I'm going to mark mine on the side instead of the top. So I'm going to actually make an extra stitch so it's easier to mark. Okay. I'm going to mark it on the side instead of the top because I'm about to do continuous rounds. Continuous rounds are where you keep going and you don't stop and chain 1 and slip stitch every time. So we're just going to make a single crochet in every single stitch around from rounds 3 to 22. That's all you got to do. Just keep going around. And that's it. And I will see you at the end of round 22. Okay, so you should have just finished round 22. Now, because your line has moved some, probably you're about here or here, if you follow the stitch marker line up, you can ignore that. It doesn't matter now. All you needed to do was 22 rounds total. That's all you needed. So, just crochet a few stitches until you get to an edge. So it should be the edge over here, not this one, but make sure that you are on an edge. So the very last stitch, whenever you fold it, so our oval created 2 points here, and when you fold it, it needs to lay like this, and when you do that, there's like an edge. That's where you need to get to. So make sure you crochet just over. It doesn't matter how many stitches. It's not going to matter in a minute. Why we do that is because now we're going to make the flap, and we need to make the flap on an edge. So to make the flap, just turn, no chains, and start crocheting. 11 stitches across, 10 and 11. Okay, so you should have 11 stitches across. Then we're going to turn and do that again. We're going to make another 11 stitches across. Single crochet. 1, 2, 10, 11. There's where that pointy hook comes in handy again. There we go. And of course, we're going to turn again. Okay. Our first stitch is a slip stitch. Our next stitch is a single crochet and a single crochet. And then a half double crochet and a half double crochet. And then a double crochet and another double crochet. And then another double crochet. But, I'm going to change it up for you. 2 times, because now we're making a treble crochet. 1, 2, 3. Another one, right here. And one more on the very edge. Oops, make sure you go through both loops. There we go. We do want it to be secure. We don't want any glasses going flying. 1, 2, 3. So it looks kind of like that. Now we're going to turn. And have you ever made an alternative turning chain? Well, if not, you're going to learn right now. Going to go into the stitch, make a single crochet. Then we're going to go into just this loop on the side right here. Bring our yarn through, just one, and bring our yarn through both. That is a alternative turning chain 2. We need a 3. So we're going to go through this stitch now, wrap, bring up, and go through 2. That is an alternative chain 3. Congratulations, you basically made a weird version of a treble crochet, which we're going to make right now. We're going to make a treble crochet. And then a double crochet. Another double crochet. Another double crochet. 2 half double crochets. Two single crochets. And 2 slip stitches. 1 and 2. See how we're kind of getting a point? Turn. And I don't want you to do anything in this first stitch. We're going to skip this stitch like it doesn't exist. And we're just going to make a single crochet into the next stitch. Single crochet into the next stitch. 2 half doubles. 1, 2. Double crochet 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and 3 more times. Double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. The top of the alternative turning chain right there. Fold it over. If you need another row because this is too short, what you're going to do is you're going to turn and single crochet across and then back. That's actually just good to do anyway because a lot of weight is about to, well, a lot of strain is about to go in that corner. So you want to make sure that corner is really solid. Go into the missed stitch as well and just slip stitch. Then you can turn, skip that stitch, single crochet, back up. And this should be all the flap you need, honestly. And this is only one way to make the flap. I have 4 different ways to make a flap. And then we are going to single crochet in the point. Okay. Okay, now chain as tightly as you can, 25 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Now, slip stitch into the single crochet you made before you made the chain, right here. And turn and slip stitch down the edge of the case. Well, the flap. So then we fasten off. And of course, we are going to sew in our tail. I'm on the edge, so I'm gonna just go in and out like this, kind of a spiral, just because that's where I ended up. You do not have to do this, obviously. Just find a way to sew in your tail. I just think it makes it slightly more decorative. And I thought that could be fun. Try to get your tail to hide inside the case and not the flap, because the flap has a lot of stress on it. Because that little cord is what keeps it all together, and so you just don't want the pressure anywhere near where the yarn could slip out. So the base is just sturdier. And you can remove your stitch marker. So your glasses go inside, and then you just take this and wrap it around. And it's not moving, it's not going anywhere, and it's a beautiful little gift. And there we have it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun making your glasses case. If you don't like this one, tomorrow's is the snake case, and that's the one where it meets in the middle. So you can always make that one. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and spoonies can stitch it up too. Bye!